Okay, so the next part is the headers, which is above the doors and whatnot. So to do that is very, very easy. We just have to know where the doors are. Well, they're here, and if you can't tell it, and last time I named the layer off camera, so I'll try to remember to bring my layers menu in here. But let me open this and unhide the doors, and let me make sure I don't have the whole thing hidden. Alright, so there's a door, and let's see. Doors, let's just unhide. We don't need appliances or fixtures, nor text, nor lighting, nor that. There we go, doors. So these are all the doors. So what I'm going to do now, and even the windows, and actually, you know, I really didn't even have to do that. Let me hide these all again, and let me stay on my wall layer. And what I'm going to do is create rectangles. And you can uncheck this so that everything is all one shape, or at least it should be. So what I'm going to do is make sure my snaps is on, and then it should still be to vertex. If it isn't, just right click it, make sure it's vertex. And then what we're going to do is draw out rectangles along all the openings. Okay, so all the openings should have new rectangles. Just like that. Okay, that should be it. Yep. One right here. And actually, there is one right here too. This is the hallway. And the ceiling, actually, it flows straight through the hallway, but there's a threshold or a header that actually goes across here as well. So what I'm going to do is just snap that to there, like so. Right click the End tool, and then with those selected I'll hit 1, and that should bring up the vertices to every single one of them, because it should all be one piece. So I'm going to select both of those, hit W to bring up my Move tool, and with snap still on, with both of these selected, I'm going to grab one and snap it to that vertice right there. Take snaps off, Q to bring up my selection tool, and there we go. And I'm going to name these headers. When we go here, they're going to be on the bottom, which is not a problem. But we want them at the top. So with that selected, and bring up my Move tool again. And what I'm going to do is, at the side view here, the left view, I'm going to snap them, or should I just bring them straight up? I think that's what I'll do. In Y, I'll bring them up. Let me see if this will work. 8 foot. Nope. Let's backtrack that. Let's see in Z. There we go. It's in Z, which I knew better. So that will bring them to the very top of the walls. And from there on, we add an extrude modifier. And it'll be 96 inches, but we don't want that. What we want is above the headers in an 8-foot ceiling apartment will only be 1 foot. So what we want to do is we'll make it 1 foot, which is 12 inches. Alright, but they're going the wrong way. We want them to negative. So we'll put a negative in front of it, and just like that, we have our headers in. And it was very easy. So that's good. Now the thing we need to do is put our window, the bottoms of the windows in. And there's only 2 windows in my apartment, one in each bedroom. Okay, so here are the bedrooms over here. Let me see, let me gain my ground here. Front door, alright, window, and window. So we only need 2 of them. Well, we could use these if we want to, but in this case I'll just create 2 new ones. Hit Alt W, hopefully it'll work. Alright, with that I'm going to Control H to, I think that hides them. No, they don't hide them, that's a different program. Just right click and hide selected. That'll hide the headers. And I told you I was going to get the applications mixed up. But, you know, no worries. So I'm going to create, let me bring snaps back on, and 2 more rectangles here and here, and we have that. So right click to end the tool. We can take snaps off, that doesn't need to be on. We'll go back to our left view, and with the move tool still activated, we'll go in Z, 8 foot, and foot is with the, you know, the little 8 and the apostrophe. 8 foot to the top, and we will actually say, what are we doing? We're stupid, don't do that, because we need to leave those at the bottom. Alright, so with those still selected, they should be right here, and if they're not one piece, what we'll do is we'll convert it to an editable spline, and then we will go, so I'm getting ahead of myself here, grab this rectangle, and there we have that. So where we have headers, I don't really know what to call them because they're part of the wall. I'll just call them footers. Yeah. And we'll put an extrude on them. And instead of negative, we want these to be 2 foot 6 inches. So 2 feet 6 inches. And there we go. And alright. And then I will hide or unhide all. This will unhide all objects. Do you want to unhide all layers? No. And there we go. I'll select everything, hit M, and I'll add everything to the selection. And I'm going to bring this down a little. Here we go. I like it a little darker. And there we go. We've got all of the headers in and the window little thingamajiggers, and because they are snapped, there will be no light that will come through these cracks. There will be 0 cracks. If you can look at it, it looks like it's one solid piece, but if you select it, it's not. It's part of this over here, which is really good. Now what we're going to do is put the floor and the ceiling in, which is very easy. Alt W to go to the top, and the way I do that is, you know, really simple. You don't have to do all this complicated stuff. Just trace the thing. Bring up your snap tool, and you can trace the outside if you want to, or just the inside. I'm going to do the outside of everything, of the whole building, just like so. And close the spline. Right click to end the tool, go back here, and snaps, take that off. And this we'll call floor. And we'll add an extrude modifier to it. And there we go. So what we'll do is we'll go negative, since it's the floor, we'll go negative 6 inches. Just like that. And there we go. Our floor is in. And because it's negative 6 inches, the grid is actually the floor. See? And this goes below the grid. So we're doing good. So with the floor selected, now what we'll do is we will shift and let's go to the left view. With it selected, we'll shift click it and we'll make a copy, but we'll call it ceiling. And in our Z, we'll go up 8 feet, and that'll put it at the top. And instead of it being negative 6 inches and coming down, we'll say a positive 6 inches going up. And there's our interior. The whole thing. So we have everything that we need going. We have all the walls, the windows are ready and cut out and made. The door, the patio door right here, which is a sliding glass door. Inside it, where we have the hallway, where the ceiling continues through. We have a nice little header right here. You know, the kitchen through here, the dining room. Yep. And I swear I'm looking at my apartment, which is kind of freaky. Alright, so I am going to select all of this, open my layer manager, and on the walls layer, I'm going to add selected objects to the highlighted layer. There we go. So that way if I hide them, everything's hid. And I close that. And with that, I'm going to save it. Sometimes I'm going to save and not mention it, so be aware. And I'll just say 2 dot floor thing. It doesn't matter what you name it, just know what you're doing. And with that, we're going to call this one done. And this chess game is really getting awesome. I think I am on my way to winning this. You see, don't be fooled by all these little white pieces over here. They don't know what they're doing. Okay, they think they've got me, but they don't know. They don't know who they're messing with. I am the great Christopher Lee, most awesome chess player in the world. Okay, so they got my queen, but that doesn't matter because I have a plan, and you'll see what I'm going to do later. So stick around.